Hey, oh mate, well done. You're running 7th, Gareth, well done.
Hello. I say hello at the beginning because it winds now up later when I'm editing it, and my first words hello, because it goes on repeat, so that's the only reason I do it. So we're at Cannonall. I've done my 20-mile long run this morning. Did 12 mile with Kai, did 2 before I met him, and then 6 mile to finish. This week of training, so did my 20 mile at Ladybow last week, and to be honest, afterwards felt really good. I was having a little bit of foot pain last week, but it weren't anything like dangerous or hinting at the fact that I had a stress fracture like I'd done a couple of years ago. But Sunday night I was laid in bed, and like early hours at morning woke up and got a bit of cramp like in top of my foot, going up towards my calf. And then Monday morning woke up and it was still there, like aching, a little bit sore, tender to walk. So what I did is I decided to go out and run. I think I ran 7 mile in the morning with Kai, and then I just left it at that. So didn't run twice on Monday like I usually do and do my double days. And then it was still aching a little bit Monday afternoon. So I decided to treat it as a bit of a down week this week, 4 weeks out from the marathon. Quite tough as well. So on Monday night went up to watch the Truns. So Naomi went up and raced the Truns, which is a fell race local to us, been going for years, and she finished first lady home at the Truns. I think that's the first time she's done that. It's got 3 river crossings, and she ended up going under in one of the river crossings, and Bessie ended up losing her little tennis ball as well in the river. But all fun and games watching the Truns. So Tuesday left it all day, and just went out in the evening, did the session, and it was meant to be free by a 5k. However, we had Jog 1k recovery float. I just did 2 of the 5k reps, and took them quite easy. Tried pacing them around the Cuddiff 5k loop, which is a little bit hilly at marathon pace, which I was clocking about 17:15s for the 5k loop, which weren't too bad. Did 2 of the 5ks, so it was 10 mile for Tuesday evening. We were warm up and cool down, because then on Wednesday it was the Road League starting, South Yorkshire Road League. Spent all day Wednesday, didn't double run Wednesday either, but spent all day Wednesday at the Etihad Stadium with work, at a conference, and then got home just in time to Elsecar. Met Naomi there because she got a lift with my parents and little Bessie dog to Elsecar, and did the 5 mile Road League. I weren't gunning it, I just wanted to run like comfortable, to be honest, and just keep like controlled pace. The Road League courses are notoriously hilly, like you can't find a flat 5 mile loop or course in South Yorkshire regardless. So yeah, it were at Elsecar, it were about 3 mile uphill and then 2 mile downhill, like a mini chef half. Set off, Scott straight away kicked out in front, and then I kind of sat in after the first mile and was in about 5th place, and then like started picking people off as we're going up the climb. Finished the race in 27:52 on the clock, so it's only a minute slower than my 1 mile 5 time, and did feel really controlled, to be honest. I finished like crossed the line in 3rd place, and it was quite a good race with a couple of the other lads that were there as well. And then Thursday, so I did 10 mile in total again on Wednesday, and then Thursday went out 8 mile in the morning, nice and comfortable, nice and easy, and then as I went into the evening, ran up to my parents with just 4 mile, so it was 12 mile in total for Thursday, and then Friday just ran once on Friday, and boxed 8 mile off in the morning for Friday morning. Nice and easy again. Kept it kind of really short this week, short and sweet, and got just miles in the belt. Felt like I've hardly done anything, which has been good. And then as I progressed through the week, my foot pain went, but I just wanted to continue on the down week, to be honest. And then got to Saturday morning, Barnsley parkrun, back on home turf again, 2 weeks in a row. Loving the hills at Barnsley, but it just takes it out your legs any week. It don't matter what sort of time that you run. You could run 40 minutes around there and it still take it out your legs. So got to Barnsley. We had the club presentation on Friday night as well, at the Boatman's Rest in Worsborough. Picked up a couple of the awards for the many variations of club championships that we hosted last year for Barnsley SC, which were quite good. Scott were injured for half a year as well, so I think I got them by default, to be honest. And like a couple of the fastest like half marathon times. I think they were fastest 5k road time, fastest marathon time, and 10 mile time as well. And then Saturday anyway, ran up to parkrun 3 mile, and then did parkrun in 17:13 on my clock and 17:13 on the gun as well. And then after parkrun did a couple of mile with Lee Nash, who I hugged and kissed at Elsecar as well on Wednesday, so I've bumped into Nasher twice this week. He's told me he listens to these whilst he's on his truck, his work on a night driving truck, does night shifts, so shout out to Nasher. And then 2 mile with him, cool down, and then went to do some filming with one of the girls from work at a British Sign Language course that we're funding down at the bottom of Worsborough at On Par Elf. And then after came home and finished off the rest of my run with a 4.5 mile run down onto the trails and up on the hills around where we live, which was, yeah, quite good. It still ended up being 400 foot of climb. And then on to Sunday, nice and easy, just pacing it, just wanted to get miles in the legs, to be honest. Finish off the week strong. Went out, it were about 7:25 pace on average, with Kai. Arranged to meet him last night. He did the road relays yesterday with Home Firth up at Redcar, so he was doing 12 mile, so did a couple of mile before him, like I said earlier, and then 12 mile with Kai up and around High Oiland, Cannon Hall, Cawthorne, up Jeb Lane at Hague. So it ended up being about 1800 foot of climb. So I've titled it on Strava, only flat hills in Barnsley, but 2.5 hours on foot. And then afterwards we've come to the beautiful Cannon Hall for some lunch, and Naomi's come for a lay on the grass whilst I'm filming. And obviously Cannon Hall up there, really busy here today actually, which is nice to see. We have been here before and there's been only us in the park, which is different and very quiet and placid, to be honest. Come here early morning, it's really beautiful when the mist is low and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, we'll not talk about nature just yet. But yeah, this week 80 mile boxed off, so still a big week. I've felt like I've done absolutely nothing, and like I'm cheating myself. It's been about 3 hours less worth of running in comparison to usual, but only 1,000 foot of elevation less than what I usually do, so yeah, figure that one out. And then this week I've spent a lot of time reading and doing other stuff, and there's an author that I like. It's called, well, there's two actually, there's Steve Magnus and then Simon Sinek, who talk about different stuff and like leadership and life, and they've got quotes and all that sort of stuff on life. And Steve Magnus put something on it with today actually about running and how it explains stuff in life and in general, and how it teaches you how it can have these transferable skills that make you just a better person, to be honest. So it's put 8 steps, to be honest. Yeah, it teaches you that mindless grinding gets you nowhere, and if you're constantly just pushing and working hard all the time, it's going to get you nowhere. So running's teaching you that sometimes having an easy day, or an easy day at the office, or an easy day jogging, is going to get you somewhere, and just working on that 80-20 split theory again. And then another thing, you've got to let go and like stop caring as much as what you do to perform better. And if you're pushing and you've got all the pressure on you completely, you're not going to be creating the best like possible environment for you to perform. And another thing is learning how to be on yourself and talk to yourself and be in your own company. And sometimes that could be the best possible environment for you to perform. And running teaches you that, and it's a transferable skill that in the workplace and in life and in wherever you go, that's something that you need to do. But equally, on the flip side, it also learns you the team value and working with other people. And then delayed gratification. So he's put on his own quote, it's about, so like if you're the best cross-country runner, best marathon runner, best 10k runner, you've got to put in 12-16 weeks of good performance to try and get to where you need to be. And it's having that focus over a period of time, long period of time. It might be a 5-year cycle for you to get to where you need to be, but that delayed gratification of eventually the reward will come if you just keep turning up and showing up, don't matter how hard you're working either sometimes. And then another thing, creating an environment for you to succeed, so that accidentally you're going to succeed eventually, because you've created that environment of where you are and where you want to be, and putting yourself in these positions for accidents to happen that make you a successful person. So whether that is accidentally turning up week on week, but doing your sessions and just creating that environment with the right people for you to succeed around you, the right team, the right people to pull you forward. And then another thing, like when you're running with people and you've put your phone down and you've got to spend 2 hours constantly talking to someone, whether it's in a session, whether it's doing a long slow run like I do with Kai, you build a genuine connection with each other. And it's a connection that's like no other, because it's vulnerable connections, whether you're talking about your legs killing, or the fact that your stomach's gone because you've taken a gel, or you do need to stop and go for a number 2 because your stomach has gone. But it's genuine connection, and it's stuff that you can just beat each other up in your conversations about your life and get all the life's mind and crimes off your head as well. And then trusting yourself. So as runners, we're consumed by data and knowledge and stuff, but trusting yourself and not the data at times to get you to where you need to be. And we might have information overload as runners, with GPS watches, as heart rates, as resting heart rates, as HRV status, Garmin telling you that you've not worked hard enough, but trusting that you have worked hard enough and choosing whether to listen to the data or not. And then lastly, when life gets on your back and you've had too much, there's no better than going out for a run and just having that your own headspace and that own purpose, just to reflect on a goal and focus on a goal and take your mind away from something else. And running teaches you that, and it's the beauty of running and putting one foot in front of the other that makes it worthwhile as well. But it's transferable skills, like I said, that running does teach you, and how you can take that out of running and put it into life. But yeah, I've had a down week. I've not worked massively hard, but I have, because mentally it's tough to have a down week of training, and I've taken a lot from this week, and my legs have felt like they're starting to return to something like February form. So hopefully in 3 weeks time today, I'll be crossing London Marathon finish line, and I'll be feeling proud of what I've achieved, regardless of what I've achieved it, because I've overcome obstacles. And that's what it's all about, running. And you've got to overcome obstacles eventually. Whether you're having continuous upward cycles, barriers are coming, and that's what it's about. And you've got to learn how to deal with those and deal with those barriers. And yeah, I've enjoyed it this week, and I've enjoyed having the extra 3 hours in my bag, but it's been 3 hours extra worthwhile recovery, and getting the legs back to something normal. So that's that for today. 3 weeks to London Marathon. episode 14 of Cookies Rambles, and we'll see what next week brings. I've got quite an intense week of training, so I've got a session on Tuesday planned in, and then we've got Lodgemore Road League Wednesday night, and we've also got Salford 10k on Friday, and we're at Naomi's parents for bank holiday weekend next week. So yeah, it's going to be a busy week. It'll just be how the legs handle it. Not going to race everything because that'll be stupid, so I will be putting a number on my chest, but there might be some that I'm definitely not racing and I'm just turning up and getting round. I would like to do quite well at Salford 10k, just as a little bit of a confidence booster, but we'll see how the legs are come Friday. Other than that, thanks for listening to the episode 14 of Cookies Rambles, and we're going to walk back to the car now. Looks like Terrible Bessie's finally settled next to Naomi, even though she's standing alert and standing guard and rolling in swan poo. But yeah, see you next week. Cheers for listening.